reminded of the theme for this conference, which is delivering a fit for purpose education for a changing world. We'd like to start off by giving each of our panelists 1 minute to introduce themselves so that we can kickstart the discussion. So we want to start from my immediate left. Just 1 minute, respectfully.
All right. Hello. Hello. All right. Good afternoon. My name is Samuel Saswadonting, and I happen to be the Chief Technical Officer at the All Africa Student Union. For those of us that may be new to the All Africa Student Union, it's essentially the umbrella organization for all students in Africa, and collectively we represent over 170 million students across the continent and also in the diaspora. Our work us around the areas of education and students' rights, capacity building, environment and climate action, migration and mobility, and then democracy and good governance. This afternoon, I'm happy to represent my Secretary General on this panel to also share perspectives from the students' point of view. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Dr. Josephine Labiako, actually the past president of the Instructional and Educational Technologies in Ghana. I'm now a private practitioner and a consultant in educational technology with emphasis on e-learning management systems and interactive technologies. I have been in the university system for some time, but I decided to opt out, so I'm here today to be part of this August, occasion, and I hope that I can bring my expertise to the fore. Thank you very much.
I wonder what to say. Yes, sometimes when I get introduced by my formal name, Evans Tertiary, I get a bit confused because for some years now I've been going around using my local and house name, which is Kwabena Techi, and I prefer that. I work with Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, but today I'm not here as a regulator here. I'm sitting here because I'm an avid researcher of education and management systems, and so I'm representing that aspect of it as I sit on the panel, not on as GTech. So your questions on GTech and everything, kindly reserve them for a different day. But yes, basically that's what I've been focusing on, and I was just having a conversation with my younger brother. For the past 1 year or so, I've been interested in expansionism in education and how it impacts on quality, especially with a focus of how transnational education plays into our roles.
Of medicine, and I'm also serving now as the chairman of the National Teaching Council, and I've been writing columns in a daily graphic called The Education Matters with Ani Safar. It's my pleasure to be with you.
Thank you very much, everyone. I think from the introductions we've had so far, we can tell that we've actually put together the creme de la creme in this area. So please, let's put our hands together one more time for our panel members. So this panel, like my brother Winston had said earlier, is quite a unique one in the sense that there are quite a number of issues that we'll be looking at relating to educational pedagogy, rote learning and assessment. The same panel would also be looking at issues relating to politicization, autonomy of institutions and academic freedom. And at the same time, we would also look at matters relating to AI and future technologies for higher education. My role here would mainly be to take the panel through issues relating to pedagogy, rote learning, and then assessment. And then in the second half of this panel discussion, my brother Winston would want to take over from there. So thank you very much. At the end of the session, we'll invite some questions, and I'm sure our panel members will be more than happy to address them. I'd want to start off with Dr. Josephine. So if you could please give the microphone to her. I think one of the critical things that this conference seeks to do is to assess or to review the nature of the pedagogy that is currently employed in our higher education institutions here in Ghana. So just to sort of like give us a bit of a context, she has been doing this for so many decades. I want to find out from her how you would describe the sort of pedagogy that appears to be employed when it comes to teaching and learning in our higher education institutions. And even more importantly, what is your assessment of its effectiveness? So double barrel question. First of all, how would you describe, and I know this is a bit difficult to answer, seeing that there are different institutions, but definitely there are some commonalities that you find everywhere. How would you describe the nature of the pedagogy? And secondly, how would you, consider or review its effectiveness? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. My first answer to that is the pedagogy we are using in higher education is ineffective. Very, very ineffective. And why am I saying that? How do we call ourselves? We call ourselves lecturers. Right? Right. We are lecturers. Okay, so if we are lecturers, what does it mean? It means that we are using only one method of teaching, which is oral presentation, standing in front of the students and presenting facts, concepts, procedural knowledge, after which we ask the students to reproduce. That's what we want, because we don't get the students involved. So the first instance is that calling ourselves lecturers alone shows that we lecture, and nothing more, nothing less. And lecture alone is ineffective in teaching in a higher educational institution. When we talk about pedagogy, there are so many of them, and there are so many theories, that goes with pedagogy. Pedagogy is just the art of teaching. But we are not teachers because we don't want to be called teachers. We lecture. So then how are we going to employ the strategies for teaching to be able to reach out to our students? None. Zero. We've had occasion of going to classes and teachers or lecturers come to class with maybe 3, 4, 5 books. They open them and then make references from one point to the other, one chapter to the other, after which we go. A student comes to your class the whole of the semester. There's no way you get to know the student because you never call the student to answer any question in your class. No questions and answers because you are doing what? You are lecturing. How do we get the students to understand what we are doing? And coming back to even rote learning. Rote learning is the simplest form of learning, which has been described as knowledge. Just knowledge. Knowledge to comprehension, to application, to analysis, to synthesis and evaluation. And we are at the lowest level because we are lecturing. We're giving just the information, imparting knowledge to the students. Now things are changing and we don't have to do that anymore. All right? Because just like, yes, he said, what are we giving to our students? Nothing. What are we giving to our students? Just for them to chew, pop, pass your exams. To the point that at times when students go out of their way to learn, other facts, other procedural knowledge from somewhere, and answer questions in your class, what do we do? They are wrong because it's not coming from you and you haven't read, So, in short, what I'll say is that we have various forms of, teaching or pedagogy. Pedagogy is supposed to be for younger children. As our students come up to the university level, some of them are adults, even though we still have some younger ones there. And the type of teaching method, or let's say, what you have to engage them in is using what is called andragogy, because their expectations and needs and interests are different from when they were young. So you cannot continue to be using pedagogy for people who are in the university level. When it comes to using technology in teaching the children, same thing. There is what we call hitagogy. So it's even changed from pedagogy to hitagogy. And we are not aware of that. When it comes to using, internet, it's cybergogy. We don't know that. We are stuck to lecturing. on that note, I want to end here so that when you come back,
yes, thank you so
I will
much,
continue
Dr.
from there.
Labia Powell. I'm going to come quickly to Samuel, but before that, please hold your microphone. In just 30 seconds, how would you react to those people who say that, look, when it comes to higher education, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the teaching style that is referred to as lecturing, because this level of education is markedly different from what happens at lower levels. So to a large extent, the lecturer more or less is supposed to be a facilitator. So there's nothing wrong with the lecturer coming to the classroom or to the lecture hall and actually, giving references for the students to actually go and research by themselves. I'm picking that from your earlier thoughts. Just in 30 seconds, a quick reaction to that.
Okay, great. I'm not sure where that is coming from, whether it's based on fact or based on research or whatever it is. Maybe individual, anecdotal, form of assertions here. Who says so? Because even at the university levels, we have different subjects.
Right.
Different subjects, different courses. So how can you say that you're going to the university to lecture alone? And I have come from a place where even master's program, you don't even have to write the thesis. We write thesis here. At the master's level, they present projects that are transformative. So who says that? Is it coming from Ghana or where?
Right.
Yeah, I don't
comments. I know that the All African Students Union does a lot of work when it comes to students at all levels of education, in terms of advocacy, in terms of capacity building. What is the student experience like? What kind of feedback are you getting from students regarding the way that